Hello and good morning. Happy Monday. Welcome to this morning's Magical Monday message titled Life is Beautiful. It has been a long time since I've seen the movie. There is a movie called Life is Beautiful that came out in 1997, 98. It was an Italian movie. I had to watch it in college because I was taking Italian. And man, it's like top movie. Absolutely. La vita è bella. Buongiorno principessa, good morning princess, and that is the line he uses, the main character Guido, to woo his love, and it's actually played by a real life husband and wife couple. The movie was the first foreign film nominated for, I believe the first foreign film nominated for a Best Picture Oscar. It didn't win, it lost to Shakespeare in Love, but Roberto Benigni won Best Director and Best Actor, which it was awesome, and it did win Best Foreign Film, so well, he might not have won Best Director, but he won Best Actor, Best Foreign Film, and it might have been the score because the music is incredible. If you decide to watch it, I highly recommend watching it in Italian with the subtitles because I've seen both versions, subtitled and the English dubbed version, and not quite as magical. The Italian language is beautiful, so I still don't speak it or really understand it, so I still read it, but what an amazing movie. First half is pure comedy, second half sure is not. It's about the Holocaust, and he's an Italian Jew, and so him and his family are taken, well, him and his son, and his wife chooses to go, so she doesn't have to be far from her family. And the whole point is that life is beautiful. He creates this game to hide his son from the horrors of the Holocaust, and to keep his childhood innocence because he's a young boy. And it's incredible the lengths this dad goes to hide his son, both from the Nazis and his son from the horrors of what they're going through. We just celebrated either Passover or Easter if you're religious, and both Passover was a rough time for the Jews, and then Easter's rough time for the Christians. Both included a lot of death and a lot of suffering, but you come out of it, and life is beautiful. It's all a matter of perspective. So it's how you handle the rough times, smiling through it. Smiling can help. Let me tell you that right now. Smiling, even when you don't want to, can help shift attitude. I'm not saying don't grieve. I'm just saying if it's been a bad day, you can still smile through it. Sorry, I'm checking some notes I made from the movie. So one blogger wrote about the movie, the circumstances Guido, the dad, teaches all of us are irrelevant. External factors are simply the backdrops to our lives. Our imaginations build our worlds. In turn, our imaginations are fueled and supported by the things we value and the people we love. So you can make it through a tough time and choose to find the beauty in every moment and every day. There'll be more on my blog about like the history of the movie because it was based on a quote by one of Joseph Stalin's assassins who was about to be killed. Life is beautiful. Let the future generations cleanse it of all evil, oppression, and violence and enjoy it to the full. So what choices do you make to enjoy life to the full? What sacrifices can you make to go after your dreams to totally change your life? Some of you may know I stepped away from full-time work and I went back to being a server, and I love it. There's just something about, I'm like truly serving people right now, and most days are absolutely great. And it's true that obviously as a manager of Starbucks, I would have a steady paycheck and possible advancements and vacation time, sick pay and all that, which you don't get as a server. But I was miserable. So I took a step back to see what I needed in my life to both grow this business, yet still supply some income to the family. And it was serving, which I'll never forget. I was serving at the time that I saw Life is Beautiful. And his uncle, Guido's learning to be a server. So he's like, how far do I bow? And his uncle says, think of a sunflower, they bow to the sun. But if you see some that are bowed too far down, it means they're dead. You're serving, but you're not a servant. Serving is the supreme art. God is the first of the servants. God serves men, but he's not a servant to men. And I think that when we pursue our dreams, it's usually a way to help other people, which means we're serving them. And that is, as this movie illustrates, one of the supreme arts is to be gracious to others, to make the best out of what you're given, use your imagination and create a life beyond your wildest dreams. And just keep going at it every day. Find the moments that are beautiful, which brings me to one more point. Maybe you need to turn off the news. I just read, I believe yesterday, that in 1950, 90% of the news was positive. In today's world, 80% of the news is negative. So, because fear sells, especially in the news world. So, if you are on a path where you're trying to be positive and trying to see the beautifulness of life and things are bringing you down, look at what you're inputting and maybe stop watching the news. I stopped watching regularly a couple years ago, and it has been the best thing ever. I know of things going on. I know key people I can go to get the real truth, generally about, stuff happening elsewhere in the world, not in America. But just, if it brings you down, then just stop watching. You can get your news, what you need to know. I used to love the news. Felt I had to always be in the know of what's going on in the world, but now you don't. You'll be all right. You need to know what's going on in your world and how to make your world better and how to affect the people around you with positive change. So, I'm Rochelle from Confident Dreaming. Thank you for joining me today. 2 things I wanted to mention. It's the end of April. My book of the month this month was Girl Stop Apologizing by Rachel Hollis. So if you haven't read it, go read it. So follow up to Girl Wash Your Face. If you don't have time to read them, find an hour and a half and watch Made for More on Prime Amazon because it's amazing. My next book of the month for May is going to be The Last Lecture by Randy Pausch, which kind of goes into the whole making the best out of life when you're faced with a bad scenario. And then Brene Brown just came out with a new documentary about having courage on Netflix. And then go watch Life is Beautiful. Until next week, have a great night and a great week. Bye.